Hey everybody, welcome to In the Kitchen with Tally Faye. I'm going to show you real quick how to make a pan of cornbread. Like I say, keep those little mixes in the pantry for emergencies, but sometimes you want to make a homemade pan of it. And do you know how? I'm fixing to show you. It's really simple and it's very delicious. There's really no comparison on them, but keep those little packets on hand. They're very handy. So here we go. Right now, I don't think you can see it from there, but I have a fire going under my skillet right now. This is a 10-inch cast iron skillet. And I'm getting my skillet hot because I'm going to put some oil in here, and I'm going to sprinkle me a little bit of cornmeal in there, and we're going to get that good and hot before we turn the batter into that skillet. So, we'll get started with this on it. Let me get it over here closer. I'm going to show you the ropes on it. Homemade cornbread from scratch. Good stuff. Okay? I'm going to do this first because this is just the way I like to do it. I've got a cup of all-purpose flour here, and I'm going to put that in there. And then I have a cup of yellow cornmeal. And my mama liked white cornmeal, and mama could make delicious cornbread. But I've always liked yellow cornmeal better. I don't know why. I don't know if it's in your mind or if there really is something different on that part. I don't know, but I just use yellow cornmeal, and obviously that's a choice on that. But I have a cup of cornmeal and a cup of flour in here, okay? And I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, okay? I'm going to add my dry ingredients is what I'm trying to do first here. I want you to see what I'm going to do there, okay? 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, 2 teaspoons. Get all that in there. And now I have a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And then I have a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? So there's all my dry ingredients. I'm just going to take my whisk and I'm going to just kind of whisk them together a little bit before I add my wet ingredients. You don't really have to do this, but I like to do it, and it gets all the little clumps out and stuff and everything. So, okay, that's all you got to do. Stir your whisk. I use my little hand whisk. Just whisk your dry ingredients together. Now I'm fixing to add 3/4 of a cup of melted butter in there. 3/4 of a cup. And I have 2 eggs. I beat them up a little bit in there. I'm just going to pour them in there. And then I have 1½ cups of buttermilk. Okay? Here's my buttermilk. That's all that goes in it. That's all you got to have. I'm going to stir it up good. It's kind of a thin batter like. I think that being thin like that helps make it kind of crunchy on the outside, in which heating this skillet up is one of the main components for getting you a good crust on that outside of that cornbread. So, alright, we've got all this in there. I'm going to get me a little bit of oil. I just have a big old jug of my canola oil here, vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever. Well, just pour me a little in there, coat the bottom of that pan. I'm going to let it be cranking up, getting hot there, which it already is because I've had my skillet warming up. But I'm just going to take my cornmeal and I'm just going to get me a little pinch out of it. Just a little old pinch like this, right? And I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. And it's already sizzling. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it all over the bottom. I might take that over there so you can see what I did. I want you to see it just in case. Okay. Let me get me a little spoon here. See, you like to brown that cornmeal in there just a little bit. You'll know it's browning good because it almost smells like popcorn to you. But, let me see here. See what I did? I just sprinkled it in there and see, and I just got just a... It's a little bit more than just the amount of grease is a little bit more than just coating the pan, but it's, you don't want no deep grease in there. So we're gonna let this cornmeal crank up and get hot in there, and it'll, like I say, it'll start browning a second. That's just one of the things that I've always done. My mama taught me to brown me some cornmeal in there, and it just makes that, it'll make it come loose from there when you do your cornmeal in there if you sprinkle a little bit of it. Now, like on this cornbread, you can use self-rising cornmeal if you have it. I never have self-rising cornmeal because I use cornmeal for other things, you know, like frying fish and frying my okra and squash and stuff like that. But, you know, if you have self-rising cornmeal, you don't need the baking powder, the baking soda, the, I don't know about the salt. I'd still put me a little in there, I don't know. But you don't need the baking soda and the baking powder, that's for sure. Because that's already in your self-rising mix, you know, in your cornmeal. So then all you need is your wet ingredients for it. But I always have baking soda and baking powder on hand for many, many things. Okay, look, see it's starting to turn a little brown there? That's all we need. I still have my fire on, and I'm going to put it in there while my fire is going. Let me see if I can point y'all over there a little bit. Okay, see my batter is ready, and see it's kind of thin like. So we're going to take it, and I'll just pour it in there. And you'll hear it sizzle. Hear that? That is forming a crust, an instant crust on the bottom of that cornbread. It forms it immediately. And that's all you need to do. So I'm turning the fire off. We're going to put it in here, and my oven is preheated at 400. And we're going to just set it down in here and let it cook for, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. But you know, you have to watch it, right? If I can get hold of this hot booger, burn my hand. I'm going to put them like that. There we go, because that's heavy. Okay, we're going in. And that is going to make a beautiful pan of cornbread. About 25 minutes or so. And so I will show it to you when I come back to for the rest of the evening meal that I've been working on with y'all in these separate videos. And show you the cornbread, and then we will start on making the cookies and the barbecue cups. And we'll have our meal done. It's going to be a wonderful meal this evening, I think. And I hope it's something the kids like. We'll see, though. You gotta make it for them to try it, right? So, anyway, the cornbread's in the oven now, so we'll be back.